Bananas are everywhere in Donkey Kong Country. They're scattered across every single level, they're hidden in barrels, they're stolen by the villains, and sometimes they're even used in ways that don't make a whole lot of sense. In most games, collectibles are just that. Collectibles. But Donkey Kong Country seems to treat bananas as something much more significant. They're central to the story, they're fought over, and in Donkey Kong Country Returns specifically, they're even used by the main antagonist Tiki Tong to create his brand new hands. That last part alone raises a heck of a lot of questions. So what exactly are these bananas? Are they just food? Or do they have some kind of deeper, perhaps otherworldly, mystical power? Could they be the source of life energy, or even a kind of currency in the world of Donkey Kong? Let's break it all down and look at some of the wildest possibilities that I could find over the entire internet and in my opinion. And let's find out what the bananas truly are. Theory number one is that the bananas are an immense source of power. This is my own personal belief. This is the theory that I believe. This is the one that I use as my headcanon as I'm playing through the games. The clearest evidence that bananas are more than just fruit comes from Donkey Kong Country Returns, where the Tiki Tak tribe steals the Kong's banana horde for their own purposes. These beings, the Tikis, the oldest beings potentially in the entire Donkey Kong universe, they hypnotize the animals and bring these inanimate objects to life, all through the power of stolen bananas. And at the end of the game, Tiki Tong literally absorbs the bananas to grow massive floating hands for himself. How is that even possible without these being at least a little bit magical? This suggests that bananas contain some kind of energy beyond normal food sustenance. If they were just regular fruit, then why would the Tikis even need them? Do they even have to eat? They don't even seem to eat in a traditional way at all. Instead, they drain the essence from the bananas and use them to create life. This implies that either A, the Tikis are magical and use the bananas in a way that they're not made to be used, which is very possible, or that the bananas in Donkey Kong Country hold an energy that can be extracted and repurposed for the user. I can't think of any other explanation as to why or how this would be possible if the fruit was just fruit. But is this energy exclusive to the Tikis, or do all creatures in the universe of Donkey Kong rely on it in some way? Donkey Kong and the other Kongs clearly value bananas more than anything else. They don't hoard treasure, they don't hoard gems or coins like any other video game character. They hoard bananas. It's their primary fixation, their obsession, to the point where Donkey Kong immediately embarks on a quest across sometimes multiple different islands whenever his stash is stolen. It's not just about food. It's about something much deeper, I feel. Theory number two is that the bananas are a form of currency. Let's take a step back from the mystical angle for just a sec. I promise we'll get back to it. What if bananas in Donkey Kong Country are actually a form of money? We see that collecting 100 bananas grants us an extra life balloon, much like coins in Super Mario Bros. This suggests that bananas hold value beyond basic nutrition and sustenance. In some games, Funky Kong and other shopkeepers accept banana coins instead of regular bananas, but the distinction between the two is never really fully explained or realized. Could it be that bananas are the foundation of the economy and then the banana coins are simply a standardized form of those lower bananas? If so, that would explain why Donkey Kong is so protective of his hoard. Losing it would be like having your entire bank account drained overnight, which, if you were to drain my bank account, you wouldn't find much, but it would definitely be something that I would be upset about. This could also explain why the villains are constantly stealing them. It's not just about depriving the Kongs of food or even the mystical powers that could potentially come with the bananas, it's about seizing economic control over Donkey Kong Island. By stealing the bananas, the Kremlings or the Tiki Tak tribe or whatever might be disrupting the balance of power, making themselves the dominant force on the island. Maybe bananas are worth more than gold in this world. Maybe bananas are just the sacred thing that you use to trade, to buy things, to strike bargains and deals. Maybe it's the foundation of all things currency on Donkey Kong Island. Theory number 3 is that the bananas are infused with jungle magic. There's also a possibility that the bananas in Donkey Kong Country are tied to the island's natural magic. We already know that Donkey Kong Island is home to all sorts of weird, unexplained phenomena. Living wooden tikis, floating platforms, minecart tracks that seem to repair themselves, and even time-traveling shenanigans in some of the later games. But what if the bananas grow from some sort of magical soil? Hear me out for a sec. This is why it's called theorizing, is because this could be completely wrong, completely off the wall, but I still want to talk about it, and I still want to discuss it. Maybe they absorb energy from the island itself. Maybe the island itself is a living, breathing thing in a sense, kind of like the Earth is sort of a living thing. Maybe they absorb energy from the island, making them more than just fruit. This would explain why eating them gives the Kongs extra strength and why they seem to be a power source for the Tikis. It could also explain why bananas in this universe never rot and they never spoil. Have you ever seen a rotten banana in a Donkey Kong Country game? No matter how long they sit out, no matter how long they're exposed to the sun and the rays and the wind and the elements, they always look fresh, yellow, and perfect. And then we get onto the golden bananas. These rare collectibles appear in multiple games, but most notably in Donkey Kong 64, where they're treated as incredibly valuable objects. If bananas were just food, then why would a golden version be so important? If anything, it suggests that some bananas are more potent or more special or more powerful than others, which could further support the idea that they hold magical properties, and whoever eats them or takes them or ingests them in some way is to become a more powerful version of themselves. Now, just bear with me for just a sec, because I would put money on this theory not being correct, but it was so funny to me, and it made me laugh just thinking about this as I was building my script, that I kind of wanted to put it in here just because as we're theorizing, nothing is off the table. We could literally say that the bananas are the gods of this universe, and they created all life, and they created Donkey Kong Island, Cranky Diddy Dixie, whatever. We could say that, and it would have some support, because every theory is on the table. And I want to go completely off the rails for just a sec. What if bananas are not native to Donkey Kong Island at all? What if they're not native to this universe at all? What if they're remnants of an ancient alien civilization that once visited the planet and left behind a mysterious, powerful crop? Now, don't roll your eyes. Don't put hate comments in the comments. This is all fun, all theories. Think about it for a sec. The Tikis seem to understand inherently the power of bananas better than the Kongs themselves do. They know how to extract the energy from them and how to use them to animate objects and to create new life. Maybe the Tikis are aliens. Maybe they were created by these alien visitors as guardians of the bananas, and the Kongs have just been unknowingly hoarding an incredible, powerful power source beyond their comprehension. They were sitting on an atomic bomb and they had no idea. If this theory holds any weight at all, which I'm sure it absolutely does not, it could explain why bananas play such a vital role in the world of Donkey Kong. They are not just food, they are much more than that. They're advanced organic technology left behind by an ancient force waiting to be studied and waiting to be fully understood. So, what are my final thoughts? What are the bananas really? If I had to choose one of these 4 theories that I've highlighted here, it would be the first one, that they are just an incredible power source, able to create life, and that they are so much more than just ordinary bananas. At the end of the day, we don't have a concrete answer, but that's what makes talking about it so fun. The bananas in Donkey Kong Country could just be a fun collectible. They absolutely could be. But the way that they're treated in the series suggests that there's something much bigger going on with them. They could be a source of energy, a form of currency, a magical resource, or even a relic of a forgotten civilization. The fact that multiple villains steal them and that characters like Tiki Tong are able to use them to enhance their own power, creating life and creating new limbs for himself, suggests that they have a much deeper significance than we realized. Maybe Nintendo never intended for there to be an explanation. Maybe Rare didn't either. Maybe the mystery itself is part of the charm. But one thing is for sure. These are not just ordinary bananas, no matter how you look at it. And the next time you play Donkey Kong Country, and in particular Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, pay attention to how often they show up and how important they seem to be to literally everybody. Because they might just be the key to understanding the entire world of Donkey Kong.